Okay, nice. All right.
Yeah.
We're locked in, man. It's going down.
All right, yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
And bro, just fooling.
Yeah, yeah. What you so how does it usually work, bro?
Man, bro, we just tap in, bro. We just connect. So like,
All right, bet.
yeah, yeah, bro. So just kind of like earlier when we was talking and I was asking you like kind of like where you from and yeah, just kind of describe
All
about
right.
yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and of course, yeah. You know, my name is Hafid Badar. Growing up, a lot of close friends and family, they a lot of them know me as Huff.
Okay.
Especially the ones that are really close to me, they call me Huff. I'm an Indonesian kid, born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Grew up practicing Islam, been practicing Islam my whole life. I
Mm,
wasn't I wasn't the best Muslim, as a kid growing up, being around my environment. I was definitely a product of my environment. Coming out to Oregon, being out here now for almost 4 years, facing my own trials and tribulations. It did get
mm.
me closer to the dean. I feel like I've gotten a lot closer to God, and I'm still, I still work on my challenges, my sins, and my bad habits that I'm trying to better myself every day. But overall, I'm thankful for the experience.
Mm.
All the ups and all the downs.
No, absolutely. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Earlier you were mentioning that your your family migrated, seemed unwillingly, from the Middle East, from you say Yemen. Do you want to touch
Yeah,
on that a
yeah.
little
So
bit?
my grandfather is Yemeni. So he at the age of 10, he was actually sold to Indonesians.
What
Um,
year do you think
and
that was?
it's a long time ago. So I know my grandfather. He died at the age of 97,
Mm,
and I was still a kid. So probably in late 90s, like 99 or 98, he passed away.
okay.
And yeah. So he was. This is back then, y'all. Talking about like back then, like he was definitely early 1900. You could definitely say that.
Okay.
Um, so sold to Indonesians at the age of 10 at 10 years old, and he was working for a family. Like I wouldn't want to use the word slave, but it's kind of like a maid that a lot of Indonesians have, or they have like younger people work for the household. They do the cleaning and dishes. They do like all the household work, and that's what he did pretty much his whole life.
Okay.
Growing up, yeah, growing up, he um he got into doing business, and the way he got into business was selling merchandise. Like he would sell merchandise to like eventually like for him to make his own bread and his own money. He sold whatever merchandise he can get his hands on, and eventually like he learned a lot of skills. I didn't really know much about his his struggles and to his success, because he did eventually become very very successful, like
Mm,
becoming property owners, respected respected man in the city and in the islands, and very well known. He had ended up having 16 kids.
oh wow.
Yeah, 16 kids. So he had two wives. His first wife passed away. He had five kids with his first wife, and then with my grandma, second wife, he had 11 kids.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So you said he was at the age of 10 is when he went to work
he
for
went to work.
families in Indonesia.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah. He had to learn
was
the
this
language.
so did he go by himself or was he accompanied with other family?
So from what I know was that his father
Excuse me.
met a group of Indonesians that had a boat, and and traded him, sold him for like a bag of gold, or whatever it was back in the day. His
Yeah.
mom devastated, crying, and that he was shipped off at the age of 10 and moved, and that was it from him seeing his parents.
Oh wow. So uh okay, so that was something dealt by the family.
Yes.
Okay. So it was just him. It wasn't like no other siblings or anything like that.
No other siblings, just him. Just
Okay.
him. Didn't know the language, didn't know the country, didn't know what it was like, and he had to adapt at such a young age. He's still
So
a
from
kid, you know.
yeah, so from what you know historically, was that common at that time for families to do that?
I honestly I don't. That this is this. I don't know if it was a comment. I don't know other people doing that. I don't know much about his father. I don't know much about like his upbringing as a child, but I know that about his separation, and I know about uh the way of life that he lives, and he's very huge on the cards that you're dealt with. You have to deal with, and it's your choice on how you end up in life is based on how your choices. Like if you choose to be lazy, or if you choose to like, oh, this is how my life is, and like you're just comfortable, like you're gonna get what you get at the end of the day. But you make the best outcome out of what you put into work, and that's something that stuck with me because my mom developed that mentality, and he always shared that to me of his teachings, you know. And one
Yeah.
thing he was huge on was cleanliness, organization, like being organized, having certain things in like in the house, like like shoes in one area, your bathtub, your bath stuff like in one area, like kitchen area stuff like all in there, like just being organized. He was very detailed, organized, and just being very hardworking.
Man, no, that's a beautiful experience, especially something that signifies growth like
Yeah.
that because you see so many people nowadays who hold on to their pains, they hold on to their traumas, and they use that as leverage to not be their best version of self.
Yeah,
And
it's true. Yeah.
like, and for him, like, it just it amazed me when you first mentioned that. Like, he came to a different country, not knowing the
Hmm.
language, not knowing nobody, but to like transmute that whole experience into being uh, a
Hmm.
father of 12, 13, a bunch of kids making a pretty much
Yeah.
tribe of Israel, symbolically,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then uh being a better example and being the epitome of transmutation, and
Hmm.
not allowing those negativities to derail his
Hmm.
potential. And it's like those successes and those stories aren't given enough light, I feel,
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
here. And it's like things that are being glorified aren't those journeys, and it's that's not an instant gratification. Let's just embody empathetically like what he had to feel, what he had to wake up with and carry
Hmm.
every day. But how
Hmm.
he carried it, he was in control of how he carried it rather than it carrying him. And I'm a big believer in that, is having that power
Hmm.
and that space within to it's like no matter what you've done or what's happened to you, whatever, the fact
Hmm.
that it's how you carry that. And remember we were talking about that
Exactly.
earlier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, bro, like 100% resonate with that concept. It's like, man, hard work is what you put into it. It's the power of self. It's the volition that's
Hmm.
uh, imbued. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Hmm.
that's yeah, bro. That's like that's a beautiful example as a family
Yeah.
member to have. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
did you have a relationship with them? Like, did you?
As a
I
kid, I did. I was fortunate enough to have like a relationship with him, and he was like I was like attached to him till he passed away. But it was just a lot when I was younger. And sometimes like I still remember his story because his story's always been has always told. Like, and one thing is like he never forgot where he came from. So
exactly.
when he what when after becoming successful and becoming like the man he became, and he would see like a merchandise seller, he knows what it's like working a whole day like that. So he would call the person, whatever they're selling, he would call them into to his house and ask what they're selling, and he would buy them all out because
Mm,
he knew that feeling of working so hard and then buying them out, and like he became such a giver from what he went through, and that's something that touches me deeply. And he had 16 kids. He tried to implement this mindset to all his kids,
mm,
but at the end of the day, it's their choice. Majority of the kids, they turned out successful, the ones that kept his mindset, but the ones that were comfortable off his own money and everything, like
mm.
they didn't have the outcome became a lot different. they
Mm,
probably started to struggle a little more. But you can tell who kept his mindset, who kept his teachings, and the
mhm,
ones that weren't lazy. And like some of my uncles, they always tell me, like if I tell them about my struggle, they bring him up. They're like, like you have no excuse to not make a living today. You wake up, that's a whole day. You wake up in the morning, you get out there, you come back when the sun sets, and I promise you, a whole day worth of work, you'll get something if you put yourself out there and you have the intention to make something out of the day.
mhm. And the success too of being humble
Hmm.
like that. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
that's a success built on humility, meaning that
Yes.
instead of,
Mhm.
looking for the pump and dump, looking for the
Yeah.
quick score,
Hmm.
settling oneself in an environment and a craft and
Yeah.
growing, networking, flourishing that way to where
Hmm.
now you're able to use the mind, use strategy,
Exactly.
use
Hmm.
personal resource to then gain rather than
Hmm.
just seek for the quick manipulation and the quick pump when not
Exactly.
there ain't there's nothing more rewarding than starting from the scratch, starting from the mud, working with your hands, working with your mind, really
Exactly.
putting those hours in, you know what I'm saying? And that's a
Yeah.
testament, you know what I mean? What he
Yeah.
displayed and presented to all your loved ones as
Hmm.
100%. And that's, man,
100%.
that's a beauty, especially in the
Hmm.
age that we're in now where, it's funny. I see influencers that are like, I don't consider this a job. It's too easy. It's work, but it's too easy, which is,
Hmm.
it's, don't get me wrong. Anything you put a lot of time and effort into, it is work. But
It is.
compared to what's out there and what needs the structures and the assets that keep a society going,
Hmm.
podcasts like this or other podcast, it's more of a luxury. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
it's work, but it's
Hmm.
not a transferable skill to everyday life.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
definitely has that difference.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And he's notorious for saying this, and this is something that's actually been very a popular saying nowadays. But he always says you are literally the product of your environment. Who you hang out with is who you become. And that's something
Mm,
my mom always brings that up to me. My uncles bring that up to me. It's like who you hang out with. Is your friend Are your friends, are they all just like, playing games and they're lazy and they're just like
mm,
sitting down and they're not doing anything? You're the next one that's gonna do that. But if your
absolutely.
friends are out there working out, they're running a business, they have different types of uh different types of entities, businesses or ideas, you're the
Mhm,
next one there. Like
mhm,
if you're the richest one out of all your friends, then you're not gonna get hired. You want to have friends that are doing way better than you.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's one thing he kept in mind. Like he instilled in my mom's mind and in my uncle's mind, and something that we carry on from what he said.
Yeah, complacency is a crutch,
It
you
is.
know,
It is.
like, being familiar with people and environments
Mm-hmm.
that don't really account for what needs to contribute
Mm-hmm.
to whether it's your prosperity, whether it's your discipline, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And it's no love lost with
It's
those
no.
people.
Yeah.
It's not like walk around with your nose up and you're not giving people the consideration, not people giving the time. It's
Yeah.
about being conscious and intentional with how much time and what you are shedding to the people, opening doors, planting seeds for them, inviting them
Exactly.
to be like, bro, come work out with me. If they don't decide to work out with you, that's up to them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
what? And being respectful, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's that's the number one thing. Having developing character without that arrogance or that sense of
That's true.
haughtiness. Is I
That
mean
is
like
true. That is true.
mutually having that. You know what I'm saying? Because mentorships are number one. Like
A
getting with
hundred
people
percent.
who are doing
Hundred
it
percent.
on a large scale and you're working your way up to that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and even to them, you know what I mean? If you embody how they are, we're more of a liability just being around someone who has, things to offer, or has a lot more in store. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
being more precise and intentional with time to those who we aspire to be like, and those who we
Hmm.
need to inspire. So it's a growth and
It is.
it's a whole measure to it. You know what I'm saying? Of
It is. It
of
is.
of, of really accounting for what's being applied and what's being put into it. So
Hmm. You're
100%,
right.
bro. Like that's
100%.
that's
Yeah.
how I end up connected with Keith, and then end up connected with you. Is like,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
on that mind body
Hmm.
fitness control, centering and balancing,
Yeah.
being on
Hmm.
that, frequency, to where
Hmm.
when we're frequently on that, then that's what we're gonna frequently be.
Exactly.
We
We're gonna
we could
attract that. We're gonna try. It's gonna come. It's gonna come to our life.
exactly. And so, it's a blessing, connected with y'all and
Yeah. hundred
having that
percent.
time, because
Hmm.
for me, that's even though it's more of a physical expression. I feel my intuition. I feel my mind working on all cylinders, even though it's more of an
Hmm.
intuitive what is that process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah, 100%, bro. So, well, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, like when I first talked to you and you told me how you invested in yourself by seeking mentorship. And
Hmm.
like that's something that I'm very, very curious about. What do you like? What would you say about someone that is considering like seeking mentorship, but they're still skeptical about like you know investing in that?
That's the thing, man. Uh, Business is always a gamble, because you're dealing with the trust. You're dealing with trust factors. So,
Hmm.
for me, personally, when I invested in a mentorship, uh, it was influencer I saw on YouTube. But what I
Okay.
did was I did deep research, meaning that I'm comparing his content to other
Hmm.
people's content, and I'm seeing the consistency, but I'm also verifying the authenticity, right? Chat
Yeah.
GBT and the things he's saying.
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm
because a lot of things
looking
are
it up
AI
on the
nowadays. Yeah.
FMC. Yeah, I'm looking it up
Yeah.
on FMC, the FMCA portals, the DOT portals, and all
Uh,
these different things to 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 convince me, to give me the validation that, okay, he knows what he's talking about. I'll pay the price and I'll enter his program. Now, the way that he structured the program was very uh unique. And
hmm.
it's very respectful, because it's all through Discord, right? And I've never
Okay.
used Discord. So it's
Mm,
like a community of, you know, templates he drops, courses he drops, updates, direct access, answer all questions. So it's like the
hmm.
mentorship is virtual, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's super resourceful when it comes to, dang, I'm stumped, or hey, can I problem solve with you, or even network? Hey, I have a carrier out here who needs this, or I have a shipper. I'm not able to perform well. You
Hmm.
want to, take on these loads, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
it's like more than a mentorship. It's like what you say, it's a community, it's an environment to where
Okay.
I just had to do my research. So
Hmm.
that's what I would suggest to anybody, is like, any person, don't just go off of the persona, you know,
Hmm.
go off of what's verifiable, go
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
of what they, the unity of what they're saying, the things that they're saying are transferable to the next person, or their competition, or the person, you know what I mean, the person that they're in line, that they're running up
Yeah.
with. Not
Hmm.
strategy wise, because everyone implements different strategies, but the
Hmm.
foundations of whatever procedures you're doing, or whatever
Hmm.
work or field that
Hmm.
you're in. You know what I mean? This
Hmm.
it yeah, because I've heard people get into mentorships and they get scammed, and the people don't
Yeah. Yeah.
hit back and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Hmm.
But the best mentorships are finding someone who you work with,
Hmm.
looking up to them, talking to them, and just picking their brain. That's the best way to be a mentor. And invite them on out for lunch. Like, hey man, can I take you to lunch?
Hmm.
And I want to ask a few questions. Like, those type of gestures, that speaks volumes, because now you're saying that their time is valuable. Saying, by doing that,
Yeah.
being like,
Yeah.
hey, let me treat you and compensate you for your time. That's how I
Yeah,
ended
yeah.
up having the connections at Rapid.
Oh wow.
RIP David,
Mm-hmm.
the one of the
Mm-hmm.
owners who ended up passing, he's the one that I built that connection with, where I would sit down
Mm-hmm.
and and communicate my aspirations, but also ask him like, "Hey man, where did you start?" Like not even just
Mm-hmm.
ask about the field that you're interested, or the skill that you want to advance in and learn and master. Not even just that, but just
Mm-hmm.
learn them, learn their habits, learn what they had to do. Learn their struggle of like, okay, what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
Was this handed to you, or did you grind for it? Was there grit and grind behind it? You know what I'm saying? Like not,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
blatantly ask about that, but really learn like who they are. Were
Mm-hmm.
they molded by fire, or were they, molded by a soft hand? And
Mm-hmm.
that'll tell you a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
It's true. It's true. You're right. You're right.
And as of
What?
now,
Mhm,
since David passed, and I'm working with Lance, I'm
mhm.
starting to build a rapport with him. When I see
Okay.
him, we talk, we we build more on uh individual level rather than just a business level. For me and David, it was more intimate like that. It was more close, and
Mhm,
where we were uh in the know of each other, and we could speak from,
mhm,
you know, a more just personal level,
mhm.
not just so, business. But yeah, bro, for sure, 100%. That ain't nothing like a mentor that you meet in real life and soak up the game from.
Yeah, yeah. What were you able to gain from before and after the mentorship?
Oh, bro. Uh I learned the number one thing I learned from that mentorship,
Mhm.
ChatGPT is flawed. Meaning,
Really?
yeah, ChatGPT, it was saying that. So, like I said, I was going through DOT and all
Mhm,
the because I have to be bonded, licensed, and insured. I have to have certain registrations in order to be in compliance,
mhm,
in order to even operate as a broker, as a middleman. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
ChatGPT told me that I had to. I did not have to register UCR, which is United Carriers Registration, because I'm not
mhm,
of asset, meaning I don't have a truck, so it's not necessary. Right?
mhm,
I didn't
mhm.
I this is so ChatGPT will so the reason why I say ChatGPT is flawed, always proof, fact check ChatGPT, read thoroughly, go on these websites and look for yourself. Because
Mhm,
through the mentorship, through the guidelines, the syllabus he made of like, start now, when you're doing this, all the certifications, he was saying that you have to register your UCR. So when I got my bonds, I got my DOT number, I got my authority number, I kept getting emails saying register your UCR. But a part
mhm,
of me was like, oh no, that's not what ChatGPT said. Then something was
mhm,
telling me, I was like, nah, let me go look in the mentorship. Look in the mentorship, it said, yes, you need to file your UCR. Then I went
mm,
on the website,
mhm.
read through all the fine print, and yes, it is there, right there. It's like a $30, $40 charge every year to
Oh
annual
damn.
fee. And if I
Mhm,
didn't register that, it would have wiped out my bond, my
mhm.
authority, my DOT,
Oh
all that money
damn.
that I invested into it, it would have just went away because I did not
Mm,
register that by a certain timeline. It was like
mhm.
45 days I had to register it. So yeah, ChatGPT is not omnipresently correct. It's not
Okay.
all knowing. It's not omniscient. It's not none of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It Yeah. So that's the number one thing that I pulled from it. That I was like, wow, like this, like dang, I put a lot of, faith in
Yeah.
in this algorithm, but no, they're not always pulling the correct information. Don't get me wrong, it's
And that's
convenient.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's
And,
convenient to fact check. I say that's the best way to
mhm.
to treat what's it called? That's the best way to treat um uh excuse me, ChatGPT, is using it just as a faster way to a faster stepping stone of fact checking, to
Okay.
where
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can pull up the site towards like, okay, let me go click on this site and then read it for myself rather than just
Yeah, yeah.
reading what
From the
ChatGPT.
chat GBT, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, um, yeah, for
But
sure.
it's kind of crazy because like as a society nowadays, a lot of people are very like trusting on chat GBT. They get like pretty
Negative.
much most of their information from chat GBT, even though it's like it's not, even though it's like there's been multiple, resources and people saying, coming out saying that chat GBT doesn't have correct data at all times.
Yeah, yeah. That's dangerous to put
Hmm.
that much emphasis and trust in ChatGPT.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
that's where mentorship probably comes in great, because like someone that's probably like a, like a subject matter expert in an area probably might know more about that area than, ChatGPT that will give you like a short narrative summary of it.
absolutely, absolutely. So let's backpedal to when you were mentioning that you practice Islam.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
so was your grandfather, did he practice Islam as well?
yeah. He's Muslim. All of my family is Muslim.
Okay. So from the controversies and the the stereotypes and just kind of like that the image that Western media tends to
Hmm.
push on Muslims, what what would you say is the most, I want to say concerning, but like what would be your response to that? Like what is the most untrue that they push as far as controversy wise and like, through these
So,
stigmas through like media and
so
propaganda?
that's the thing. Growing up as a Muslim, I've like, especially when I was younger, because I went to a school that I was like the only Muslim kid, so I got made fun of, with the propaganda, and the stereotypes of what a Muslim is. And what it is that a lot of people just don't know, they've never really like looked into it. Or once again, a lot of people get their information through Google or, Chat GBT, where it's not accurate. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of the stuff that they get online, a lot of information is not accurate. And um, growing up and understanding and learning my faith and my deen a lot more, it's a
Mm,
lot more simple than people think it is. And like, believe it or not, Muslim is very or Islam in general is it's almost the same as Christianity and Judaism.
mhm,
It's the one thing I can just say is that you believe in one God and no other God, just God, and believe in all the prophets. And I know like Christianity, like, like they worship Jesus, peace be upon him, as a as a God, but we see him as a messenger of God. And we believe in Moses, we believe in, Muhammad, peace be upon him, the last messenger. And um a lot of it just, you just can come down learning all this just from reading it. And people don't know that we practice all the prophets, their teachings. Jesus is teaching, Moses is teaching, and actually, like, Moses is the most mentioned prophet in the Quran. And it's very simple. Like, man is not perfect, so there's no perfect Muslim out there in this world.
mm,
Only perfect being, perfect, omniscient, all knowing is God. And
mhm,
the only person that can judge us is God.
mhm,
That's pretty much what Islam is. And we push to believe what Islam means is just to surrender to God, and it's peace. And when there's a Muslim out there in this world, or a group or an organization that promotes, violence, or the propaganda of them like hurting people or anything like that, that's not Islam.
mm,
And
mm,
honestly, like, my best advice is for people that don't know what Islam or have a negative connotation, meet a Muslim friend or meet a Muslim person and ask them questions. Get to know them. Get to and don't judge the religion on them. Judge it on the actual religion, what it is, and like what the teachings is. And there's sometimes people have asked me certain questions about certain things, and if I don't know the answer, I'll ask someone that's more knowledgeable, and I will get the answer.
Mm.
And it's not that I want to come off as someone that knows all of it. I'm still learning. But at the end of the day, it's just being, a good person. And then, going back to speaking about arrogance, like it's actually like one of the biggest sin in Islam is to have even like an ounce of arrogance in your heart.
Mm.
And you could be a good person. You could be a good person. You can pray all the time. You could give charity. You could, like not eat pork, not sin or anything like that. But you have 1 ounce of arrogance in your heart, and that could stop you from the hereafter.
Oh
And
wow,
yeah, yeah. So it's
that makes sense.
it's
I seem
yeah,
arrogance is like a core principle of so much evil and iniquity in the
it
world.
is. It really is. It really is.
So it's like you rid yourself of that, you're good.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
you ain't gotta
Yeah.
worry about all the other
Mhm.
crazy activities that follow arrogance.
Yeah.
Um, I think yeah, bro, it's actually commendable that you mentioned how the extremists, the people who take a doctrine and use it for power and force are not the
Mhm.
truth, and that there's a big population, there's a
Mhm.
big percentage of devotees who do not resonate with that, right?
Mhm.
Because that transfers to Christianity,
Yeah.
Buddhism, Hinduism,
Mhm.
all these religions who did at one point in history experience war and
Mhm.
government, right? And oppression. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because in the Bible, there's a scripture, it says that the evil one will be a false light of the world. And that's what that
Yeah.
is. These
Mhm.
people who use good, but
Mhm.
for the purpose and for the manipulation of evil destruction and evil
Mhm.
government, and they're posing themselves as a false light and using the way, the
Mhm.
purpose of life to control these masses
Mhm.
for their agenda,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what it is. It's a false light.
It
And
is. It
it's
is.
interesting how that is uh contaminated within different cultures and languages and translations. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's displayed through the Christians, it's displayed through the Jews, it's displayed
Mhm.
through the Muslims, it's displayed through the
Mhm.
Hindu. You know what I'm
It's
saying? Like it's
yeah.
all
Yeah.
it's human nature at that point.
It
So it's
is. It is.
human nature for these people of significant arrogance to become a false light, but then reflect the
Mhm.
prophecy of the evil ones and that evil
Yeah.
frequency. You know what I'm saying? So it
Mhm.
just I respect that. I respect that. As humans, we can all see that and realize that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That this
Yeah.
is this isn't just a Islam thing. This isn't just a Christianity thing. No, this is a
No.
human
Yeah.
thing.
It
This
is. It
is
is. It is human
humans
thing.
taking,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's where my spiritual focus is. I'm not gonna blame a
Mhm.
certain group. I'm not gonna blame
Yeah.
a certain translation, right? I'm not gonna play
Mhm.
semantics. I'm gonna read
Mhm.
semantics and I'm gonna bridge these concepts together and I'm gonna find the harmony. I'm gonna find the love. I'm gonna find where
Yeah.
we were all of one mind and we were all of one spirit.
Mhm.
So in the Quran, do they speak about the Tower of Babel? Is that a Nimrod, the guy who tried to build the tower all the way to the heavens and then got confused the languages?
The Tara of Abel. I haven't finished the Quran yet. Um, I haven't got into that part, but I can definitely get back to you on the Tara of Abel. You said,
The Tower of
and is
Babel.
that of Babel, and is that usually is that in the Bible, the story of the Tower of Babel?
Yeah, it's in the Old Testament.
You know, honestly, I could be wrong, but I don't want to. I don't want to say something if I don't know. It could be in the Quran. I haven't finished it yet, but we do have all the similar stories of like of the of majority of the prophets. You know, of like of Jonas, of Job, but Babel. I'd have to look into that one. I'll definitely have to look into that. I don't want to give you an answer and say yes or no without me knowing it.
No, for sure, for
But yeah,
sure.
can you tell me more about that actually? Like, so the Tower of Babel, he built a tree all the way up to the heavens.
So no, he built the tower. So in the Tower of
Mm,
Babel, it was love. What city was that? That was what city was that? Or the Tower of Babel? Where was that at? That was that in Canaan in the Bible? It was in Canaan. I forget. I'm not too sure where.
mhm,
It was in one of those like first regions of the earth in that
mm,
in that time, and all the people there was like a great harmony, but they all idolized and worshiped their leader Nimrod. And Nimrod was like, "Well, we're gonna bring all, we're gonna come together, and we're gonna build this structure that reaches the
mhm,
heavens." And God
mhm,
forbade him and was like, "Look, you do not build this tower." He built the tower anyways, but he did it with the power of everyone, right? So
mm,
God went and created languages. So at
mhm.
that time, everyone spoke one language. And so
Oh wow.
he confused the people. It's here in the Bible, it says confuse the tongues. God came down and confused the tongues to where they couldn't finish building that because they couldn't communicate. They didn't know, like everybody was looking at each other crazy because they were like, I don't even know what you're saying. Like
Mm.
it caused
Oh,
massive
interesting.
confusion. And so
Tower of Babel.
because Nimrod went against God's orders and was like, don't do that. And he was like,
Mhm,
well, my people want me to do it and we're doing it for you. And he's like, it doesn't matter if you're doing it for me, just don't do it at all. But he did it anyways. And then that's where, so in the Bible, they say that's where language comes from, different languages,
mm,
but from the Tower of Babel.
mhm. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Tower. Okay, I'm gonna definitely. That's my first time hearing of this. I'm definitely gonna look into this right now. I'm just looking it up. I feel
Yeah.
like
It's an interesting concept.
it
It's
is. It
super
is.
interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So are
Wow.
you familiar with the like the revelations and the prophecies that the Quran
Um.
teaches? Like, what are the signs of, like, is there like a coming of the prophets and like a
Oh
kind of like an
yeah. Yeah.
Armageddon or anything like that? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
what's
Yeah. You talking about the Day
so
of Judgment? You talking about the Day of Judgment?
yeah, like what are the prophecies leading up to that?
Um. I'm not familiar with the exact prophecies. I know that the one is like a sickness going around, like
Mm.
a worldwide pandemic.
Oh
I think
wow.
that was mentioned, yeah. And then the river of Euphrates drying up,
Mm.
and then the cleansing of a Muslim country in the Middle East. So like if it was like if like a genocide was to be completed, and then
That's crazy.
a false
Genocide in
messiah,
the Middle East.
yeah, yeah, a false messiah coming down, the Antichrist, and fooling everybody, and
So
then
in the Quran, who is the Messiah? Or did the Messiah come?
the one that's gonna stop the one that's gonna stop the Antichrist, or
Well, they say it's a false Messiah. So, did a Messiah already come, or did it not come yet?
it had. I mean, we don't know if it's canon or not, but a false messiah is known as the Antichrist, called the Dajjal, and this person's gonna come in and bring people back to life, and people are gonna believe that he's the Messiah, he's Jesus Christ, but he's not. But in the
Mm.
Quran, we also believe that Jesus Christ is also gonna come down
Oh
and
wow.
stop the Antichrist. Yeah. So we also believe that Jesus was never crucified. He
Mm.
was brought up to the heavens. So that's how he's gonna come down.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
hmm Yeah. So, uh, There's probably more prophecies that I'm not, but those are the ones I am familiar with. See what else. But yeah, the Antichrist one is going to be a big one. Um, are going to come probably they're probably going to come from the Middle East, from Israel.
Mm,
You're wrong. Yeah,
that's interesting too. Um,
they're gonna stop the war and everything, and they're gonna bring in some peace.
yeah, that's actually very similar to the Book of Revelations.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's very similar.
So so the thing in Islam is we believe in all the books. We believe in the Torah. We believe in the original Bible, the one that Jesus came down with,
Mm,
the uh the preserved one. But you know how the Bible has been changed throughout time.
hmm.
So the original one we believe in, and
Which
all
one
the
is the original
prophets. And
Bible?
so in Islam it's called the Injil. I believe it's the gospel.
Okay,
Yeah, I believe it's the gospel. Yeah,
the
let me see.
Injil. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's called the
I've heard
Injil,
that
and
concept.
then oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it. I forgot about that. That's crazy. Yeah,
Hmm. And
yeah.
then the Quran was the last book that came down. And the last book, the Quran, when it came down, it's the shortest revelation. It's one that can be memorized by human, and it sums up everything into this one book.
Mm, okay. Yeah, that's interesting,
Hmm.
especially with the prophecies of Israel because they've uh they've had a big influence in politics and in history to where it's it's hard to disclaim it. It's hard to
It is. It's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy, huh?
yeah, it's hard to like not believe
Hmm.
the antics that
Hmm.
goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild. But also within their community, they have a lot of division in practice and belief.
Hmm. Oh
Now,
yeah.
from um yeah, from just the base of Christianity and Islam,
Hmm.
they both believe that a false Messiah will come, right?
Yes.
But
Hmm.
Judaism believe that the Messiah has not arrived at all. So the Messiah that will come will be worshipped by the Israelites or the Zion or whatever, right? They're
Yeah.
Judaism.
Hmm.
There will be
Hmm.
it will be worshipped by them,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
it won't be worshipped by everyone else who's
No.
a non-believer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a real spiritual tug
It is.
that will transpire how whenever that happens. And
Hmm.
it yeah, it just it it fascinates me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
No, it's
fascinates me
it's
a
it's,
lot
it's definitely interesting. Yeah. It's
because
because in the Quran too, like so the Muslims believe like at the end of times the Muslims and the Christians are gonna be part of the war, and they're gonna unite together to help Jesus,
oh
peace
wow.
be upon him, to defeat the Antichrist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's that. See it, man. See, those are concepts that isn't widely shared. That's not promoted in the media. The media is not
It's not.
pushing
It's
that
not. Yeah.
peace
It's
and that unity that
it's not.
uh Islam brings, and that it
It's
is. That's
it's
what it
yeah. Yeah.
represents. It is.
Mhm.
That's not being given. The truth's not being
Yeah.
given. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
bro, that's beautiful, bro. Like for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I appreciate you, bro, for shedding light. We definitely
No, of
got to
course.
tap in and expand some
Yeah.
more. I want to kind of go a little bit more deeper on some esoterics
Yeah.
and some and metaphysics on like kind of like
Yeah.
how you deal with transmuting your energy and having that power of alchemy within of dealing with
Mhm.
emotions and dealing with influences. But I don't want to hold you too long, man. We've been on here for 45 minutes.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go
hey,
ahead and
it's a
make
good
some.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
it's a
for
good chat, bro.
sure.
I appreciate you having me on, man. I
No,
really do.
for sure. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make some snips. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, put pins in multiple of your points and your wisdom. If you want, send me something like that could be like a good thumbnail that would represent you. I don't
All
want
right,
to have
bet.
to pick it for you. Uh it
What do you
could
mean, like
anything. It could be a picture. It could be your favorite symbol. It could be
okay,
whatever. But
all right, bet,
within the
bet,
caption, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tag you. So whenever I post you, I tag you in it. You know
bet,
what I'm
bet.
saying? So where you get
Yeah.
your homage is always paid, so they can put
Hmm.
a contact to the name and the
Hmm.
wisdom that's being pumped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah,
Absolutely,
I'll do that. I'll send that. I appreciate you.
no doubt.